Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sinead. Aherne. Today's top stories: Waterford's one of 16 counties with new cases of COVID-19. Sole traders in Waterford may be eligible for a new social welfare payment. The Mayor of Waterford City and County says the Kilkenny Greenway will be fantastic for the South East. And in sport, Waterford FC are away to Dundalk this evening for the second time this week. For the first time in a month, a new case of COVID-19 has been confirmed in Waterford. It comes as 92 cases were confirmed in the Republic of Ireland last night. There were no deaths associated with the virus. Dr Ronan Glynn, Acting Chief Medical Officer, announced that Waterford was one of 16 counties with new cases. The last time there was any increase in cases here was the 13th of July. The exact number of new cases in Waterford is not yet known. However, it should be included in the county-by-county figures released tonight. Dublin and Kildare both had 24 new cases. There were 8 in Limerick, 6 in Carlow and Kilkenny, 5 in Meath and Clare. The remaining 14 cases are in Waterford, Cork, Donegal, Kerry, Laois, Louth, Monaghan, Offaly and Wicklow. Waterford, meanwhile, is one of only 2 counties in Ireland that has had fewer than 5 deaths related to COVID-19 since the outbreak began. That's according to the latest CSO release. Leitrim, which has a population of just 32,000, is the other. For confidentiality reasons, the CSO does not release the exact number when it's less than 5. Elsewhere in the South East, 13 people died from COVID in Kilkenny. There were 15 deaths in Carlow, 19 in Tipperary and 20 in Wexford. The release also shows that in the 4 weeks up until the 7th of August, there were no confirmed cases in Waterford. The median age of COVID cases in Waterford is 47. The rate of COVID-19 infection in Kildare, Laois and Offaly is now up to 8 times higher than the rest of the country. A member of the National Public Health Emergency Team has warned they face a difficult challenge in the 3 counties, as Stephen Murphy reports.
These new figures from the Department of Health show the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 people broken down by county. It's one of the key indicators health officials look at and covers a 2-week period between the 29th of July and Wednesday of this week. The rate per 100,000 across the country is 19, but in the 3 counties where restrictions have been reimposed, it's much higher than that. 146 in Kildare, 136 in Offaly and 74 in Laois. Philip Nolan from Neffet's Modelling Advisory Group says the situation in those counties is difficult and that they're really trying to contain the spread of the virus. Other counties that also have a slightly higher incidence rate than the national average are Carlow with 31 and Limerick and Clare with 21. Kerry, Leitrim, Longford, Monaghan, Roscommon, Sligo, Tipperary, Waterford and Westmeath have registered less than 5 cases in the last 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the situation in hospitals remains stable with 13 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 6 people in intensive care. The head of the HSE, Paul Reid, says we all have to match a virus that is relentless with equal, if not stronger, resilience. He says there will be better days ahead without this threat, but not just yet.
School buses will carry the same number of students as usual when schools return. The Department of Education says the buses will operate as normal because they differ from public transport. Children will have to sit in pre-assigned seats next to the same child, and those aged 13 or over will have to wear face masks. Maeve Fanning, President of the National Parents Council Post-Primary, is wondering who's going to police it.
We're all relying on that everyone does what they're supposed to do. I suppose my worry would be who is responsible to make sure that the kids are actually sitting in their seats.
Other buses will continue to operate at 50% capacity. Brian Lynch is from Shoreway. They're licensed by the National Transport Authority for their public transport commuter services. He told Miriam McCann on Data Today that there are negotiations to resume operations over the coming weeks.
We carry a mixture of senior citizens, commuters, working people and students. And I think 50% capacity, obviously following government health guidelines, is still the correct advice. And that makes sense when you have a mixed group of people. My understanding is that the Department of Education and both Aherne have taken the view, I assume under public health advice, that schools are seen to be a pod in some way, or they are trying to pre-assign seats. And in that sense, I suppose that it is a more controlled environment.
A Waterford senator says the enterprise support grant will help local sole traders to get back on their feet. Up to €1,000 can be claimed by self-employed workers who came off the pandemic unemployment payment. €12 million has been initially set aside. Fine Gael's John Cummins says it's aimed at tradespeople, taxi drivers and others who can't get the Restart grant.
Well, I've been contacted by countless self-employed tradespeople in recent months since the restrictions have eased, looking for support and advice in getting back to work. So whether it's paying wages, fuel costs, purchasing PPE or the likes of signage, this is an important grant which will assist self-employed people to reopen their business and get back doing what they do best, which is providing crucial and essential services in their communities.
Carmel Grant is a committee member of the Waterford Micro Business Network.
A lot of our members would work directly with the public. We'd have therapists and hairdressers and everything, and they've had to fork out a lot of money now on PPE and everything. So hopefully this grant will go towards paying for some of that. And then you've got the likes of taxi drivers and that who've had to put screens up or have to provide PPE for their clients. So hopefully this will go towards that extra cost.
One of the girls rescued in Galway yesterday after drifting out to sea says she panicked at first but tried to remain calm. Cousins Ellen Glynn and Sarah Feeney spent 15 hours in the water after managing to hold on to a lobster pot. They were eventually found by a local fisherman yesterday morning, 27 kilometres from where they'd set off paddleboarding from Furbo Beach. Speaking from hospital, 23-year-old Ellen says they tried to stay positive.
At first I was quite panicked just for a few minutes, but then we just kind of decided not to panic, not to have any negative thoughts or anything, and everything would be okay. So we just tried to stay calm and positive and everything. And
young people in Waterford are holding a 10-kilometre walk this lunchtime to call for action on climate change. It's been organised by Fridays for Future, the group behind student-led protest over the last year. The walk is starting at the Greenway in Waterford City around now. Libby Marchant's one of the organisers.
Well, we decided that because we couldn't really have a protest, because with everything going on, it wouldn't be safe to have so many people gathered in one space. We decided to do a protest walk instead. We decided to do a 10-kilometre walk along the Greenway to protest the fact that we only have 10 years left until climate change is irreversible. We're really hoping for about 50, but we're not sure. As many as we can get. Everyone's going to be wearing masks and it's going to be 2 metres apart, so hopefully it'll all be safe.
The Mayor of Waterford City and County says the Kilkenny Greenway will be fantastic for the southeast. Construction is now underway on the 24-kilometre route, which will run from Mount Elliott and New Ross to the North Quays in Waterford City. Mayor Damien Gagan says it'll be up and running in spring 2022.
It's fantastic. It's another significant investment in the southeast. It's another significant investment in greenways, and as we all know here in Waterford, the Greenway has been a real game changer here in Waterford, particularly places like Kilmacthomas. Dungarvan is very much a tourist town now, has been put on the map on account of the Greenway, and I think we need to continue to build on that success. And I think what we're witnessing at the moment really is an excellent example of good cooperation between the local authorities in the southeast, and we're really delivering something for the people of the southeast here. And I was delighted to be on the Greenway as the construction started in South Kilkenny.
Sports news on WLR.
With Virgin Media Waterford. Want super fast broadband today? Drop into Virgin Media George's Street and take it home with you. Easy as that.
A very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. I'm Nigel Kelly. Starting with the League of Ireland, where there are 2 games this evening. Dundalk host the Blues at Oriel Park from 6:15. With Matt Keane, we have the preview.
This evening, the new Blues manager will field his strongest starting 11, and that will mean players such as Brian Murphy, Ali Coote, Curtis Byrne and Shane Griffin will all line out from the opening whistle. Vinnie Perth and his Dundalk team are aware of the fact that Waterford will join them on 13 points on the league table if the visitors come out on top, and the Blues have a game in hand. That said, it's 13 years since a Waterford team won a game in Oriel Park. Jimmy McGeoch was the manager of that team, and Darren Murphy scored the winning goal.
Elsewhere at 7:45, bottom of the table, Cork City host Sligo Rovers at Turner's Cross. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Brazilian winger Willian has completed his move from Chelsea to Arsenal. He has swapped West London for North, signing a 3-year deal at the Emirates Stadium. In the Champions League, another place in the semi-finals is up for grabs tonight in Lisbon. Barcelona and Bayern Munich kick off at 8 o'clock. Moving to racing, where the Tramore Festival is into its second day at the seaside venue. Dungarvan trainer John Kiley was the man to follow on the opening day with 2 winners. With the preview for today's action, we have WLR racing correspondent Mark Phillips.
It's day 2 of the August Festival of Racing at Tramore, with the opening contest underway at 4:45. Champion trainer Willie Mullins appears to have found a nice opportunity for easy game in the opening chase, where Razul rates as the main danger. Friary Gold is awarded the vote in the handicap chase, while one locally trained horse, Mary Fields, could well perform at a big price. Banjo and Dave and Bernie are 2 runners against the field in a 2-mile maiden hurdle, while if overcoming an absence, Dan Dagira will not be far away, together with Wild Desire in a wide open mare's handicap hurdle. The 5th contest will not take a great deal of winning, where no memory is put forward as a more hopeful rather than confident each-way selection. Rebel Waltz and course and distance winner Yaeza should both go well in the penultimate event, while in the concluding bumper, Not What I Am and Rula Bula can fight out the finish. This is Mark Phillips for WLR Sport.
Moving to Gaelic Games, where there's a number of junior hurling semi-finals across the county this evening. There is 3 games throwing in at 7:15, with Delasal and Clonay in Welsh Park, Ferrybank and Portlaw go to Fenner, and Mount Sion and St Mullins travel to Dunhill. 2 games are underway at 7, with 4 Mile Water and Abbeyside in Colligan, while it's Kilgobnet and Stradbally in Dungarvan. Moving to golf, where Shane Lowry and Seamus Power are both 2 under heading into day 2 of the Wyndham Championship on the USPGA Tour in North Carolina. Power still has 2 holes of his opening round left to play after bad weather caused play to be suspended yesterday. Graham McDowell is 3 over, while Harold Varner, Tom Hoagie and Roger Sloan have a share of the lead on 8 under. Sports news on WLR is thanks to Virgin Media Waterford.